Hello, everyone. I'm Junze from the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology. Today, I will share our work, DiaryHelper, exploring the use of an automatic contextual information recording agent for elicitation diary study. First, let me introduce some background knowledge and our objectives. Diary study as a contextual, longitudinal, qualitative research method relies on participants' self-recorded data to explore their behaviors, activities, and experiences over a particular period of time. It is widely conducted in many domains, such as health, psychology, and education. For HCI research, diary studies could provide an in-depth understanding of users' real-world interaction behaviors and valuable insights for design improvements. Here is a typical timeline of a diary study. After the initial preparation, researchers explain the study topic and give detailed instructions in the onboarding phase. Then, study participants record the events of interest related to the study topic during the recording period, followed by an interview to discuss the recorded diaries and provide more insights. Finally, researchers analyze the collected data. Considering the recording method, diary studies could be divided into two types. For the feedback diary study, participants record events of interest immediately by answering some predefined questions as recorded diaries. In this way, recorded diaries are structured and collected promptly and are not affected by memory decay. However, this type of burdensome and intrusive logging may distract participants from their ongoing tasks. For the other one, the elicitation diary study instructs participants to capture only some aspects of events as prompts and provide details later in the elicitation interview. So it is an unobtrusive and flexible logging with no restriction on the data aspects and formats to record. However, the downside is that the potentially vague and incomplete recording may cause participants to forget some details of the reported events. In our study, we will try to overcome the downside of the elicitation diary study. So we designed the DiaryHelper to facilitate the elicitation diary study. The objectives are, in the recording period, DiaryHelper could effectively assist participants in capturing abundant and accurate contextual information, and in the elicitation interview, participants could recall more details for each recorded events and provide more insights with the assistance of DiaryHelper. Next, let's see the detailed design of DiaryHelper. DiaryHelper is an agent integrated into the Slack platform. Each participant is assigned to an exclusive private channel. Here is the user interface. When participants record something, for example, a photo, DiaryHelper acknowledges the recording and generates a memo containing relevant contextual information for participants to check. After checking on the check memo, a memo form pops up, including time, location, emotion, people, activity, and additional notes. The time is captured from the metadata of the message, and other information collection is in multiple choice format. The choices are predicted by DiaryHelper based on participants' recordings. The choices with the highest confidence are pre-selected. After the participants checked the memo form, they could submit the memo form. And the summary of all the contextual information is printed out in the chat window. Here is the implementation pipeline for DiaryHelper. It supports multimodal recording, including text, image, audio, and video. We leverage cloud services APIs to extract the text-based features for each recording. Then we integrate the features into the prompt template and feed the prompt into the ChatGPT model to predict the 5 dimensions of contextual information. The selection of these 5 particular dimensions is supported by the episodic memory theory. which indicates the effective cues for people to recall past events. In the prompt, we limit the space of generated information to avoid hallucination. The detailed prompt we used is presented in the appendix of our paper. Finally, during the elicitation interview, participants could refer to both their original recording and the checked and finalized memo. Then, let's step into how we evaluated the performance of DiaryHelper. We recruited 12 participants to conduct a within-subject study lasting 2 weeks. We considered the original Slack platform as the baseline system. The participants are divided into 2 groups. For the first recording period, the first group used the baseline system to record, and the second group used the DiaryHelper. And for the second recording period, we reversed the order. After each recording period, there were an elicitation interview and questionnaire rating sessions. At the end of the whole study, we asked the participants about their user experiences. Our study topic is, how do individuals manage their work-life balance in flexible working mode? Since this topic is multifaceted, participants can easily find events of interest in their daily lives. We consider the following dimensions to evaluate the usefulness of the system. In the recording period, whether they would like to record diaries frequently, immediately, and in different modalities. For the elicitation interview, the participants recall of recorded diaries, the description of the relation between recorded diaries and the study topic, and the reflection on the study topic. To evaluate the quality of the recall, we transcribed the participants' responses and manually scored with the scale 0, 1, and 2 for each dimension of contextual information, considering the level of detail. Particularly for DiaryHelper, we also asked the 3 additional questions: whether they were satisfied with DiaryHelper's prediction, checked DiaryHelper's prediction carefully, and had privacy concerns. Next, we summarized some interesting results. Let's have a look. For participants' recording habits, we counted the number of diaries recorded by each modality for the baseline system and the DiaryHelper. By observing the table, we can find that there is an obvious increase in the number of diaries recorded by image and a decrease of both the recording with text and hybrid one, which demonstrates participants tended to rely on DiaryHelper to understand the image and generate the relevant contextual information. We also summarized the number of participants recorded diary entries per hour during a day in the histogram. During the daytime, there was not a significant difference, but there were more recordings around midnight when using DiaryHelper. One participant's response may explain this phenomenon. DiaryHelper let me feel like a friend waiting for me. When I was tired after working overtime, I would like to talk to DiaryHelper and express my feelings. I feel like I'm empathized when I notice a negative emotion tag in the memo. We also evaluated the prediction performance of DiaryHelper quantitatively. For the evaluation of emotion prediction, we considered the selected emotion label by participants as the ground truth label and computed precision, recall, and F1 score. For each contextual information with multiple choices, such as location, people, and activity, if the pre-selected option by DiaryHelper is included in the participant's final set of choices, it is counted as a hit. Based on the results in these 2 tables, it demonstrates a decent performance of DiaryHelper. We also collected participants' subjective feelings about DiaryHelper, and they were satisfied with its performance. However, when participants mentioned that, after I found that the contents generated by DiaryHelper were good and tended to check the information less carefully than before, and part of participants also raised some privacy concerns about the posted data. We conducted a hypothesis test to evaluate the difference in participants' quality of recall. Our hypothesis is the usage of DiaryHelper could trigger participants to enrich their recall of 5 dimensions of contextual information based on the results shown in the table. We can observe, except for the time, there is a significant increase of recall quality in the 4 dimensions when using DiaryHelper. One possible reason is that participants tended to record an event immediately when they thought an event was interesting to record. So the captured temporal information by DiaryHelper was similar to that captured in the baseline system. We also carried out a qualitative analysis of participants' reflections. We found that the high quality of participants' recall was crucial for discussion about the study topic. Moreover, the emotion captured by DiaryHelper was useful for participants to reflect on their mental state and adjust their strategy to balance work and life. Finally, the concise and structured memo summaries generated by DiaryHelper could facilitate participants' holistic understanding and deep reflection on their status and daily behaviors. Here is a summary of the participants' questionnaire ratings. We can see that DiaryHelper showed a better performance based on participants' subjective feelings. Then, we had some discussions about our work. DiaryHelper demonstrated the usefulness of automatic contextual information recording. In the future, more customized cues related to the diary study topic could be integrated into the design. Some visualization tools could also be provided to present participants with a holistic view of the recording. Moreover, the amount of contextual information provided could be adapted to different study periods. DiaryHelper also shows a sense of empathy and a promising direction to involve more interactivity for promoting participants' recording willingness. Lastly, DiaryHelper could be adopted in other similar research methods, such as experience sampling and photo voice. Okay, in the end, let's summarize our contribution and conclusion. We designed DiaryHelper, an automatic contextual information recording agent for the elicitation diary study. DiaryHelper could improve participants' willingness to diary recording and decrease the burden of recording contextual information in the recording period. For the elicitation interview, DiaryHelper could trigger participants to recall captured diaries with more detail and provide more insights regarding the study topic. That's all for our presentation. Thanks for your listening.